All right, well, hello, seventh graders. We are moving right along here. And this first set of directions that we're looking at today, as we're getting into lesson 9.2, says find the area of the circle. Now, area, remember, is how much something can cover. Like when we think about area, we think of about like carpet layers, laying carpet. How much floor area do they need to cover? That's considered area. The formula to find the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. So we square the radius, and remember radius is half the distance across the circle going through the middle. And so we square that, multiply it by pi. Now pi, these two numbers are not exact, but they're very close. As a decimal, we'd use 3.14, and this is what we will typically use unless the number that we're multiplying by that happens to be the radius squared is a multiple of 7, because then we can use 7 to cross-check, and so we'll use 22 over 7. Now, I guess if they give you something in fractions and you want to keep it as 22 over 7, that's fine. These two numbers are not exact. So if you ever did one with 22 over 7 and one with 3.14, you would not get the same exact answer. It would be close, but it would not be exact. So let's look at this first example. Well, here we have the radius of this circle from the middle to the end is 4 meters. So if the formula is pi times radius squared, and the radius is 4 meters, if I square 4, 4 times 4 is 16. So then I need to multiply that by pi. So I'm going to come over here, and it's going to be 3 14/100 times pi, which is going to be 16. Remember, decimals do not need to be lined up. 6 times 4 is 24. Put the 4 down, carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. I put a 0 down, so everything lines up with my 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. I did not give myself a lot of room for adding, but I'll put it over here. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. 50.24. There are 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in the problem. So I'm going to put 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in my answer. 50 24 meters squared. And that's pretty much how that works, okay? Because we always square area. Now we look at this next one. 42 square feet, okay? Now the diameter is 42. That's all the way across. Now remember, if I know the diameter and I want to find the radius, I have to cut the diameter in half. So it's going to be 42 divided by 2. Well, if I do 42 divided by 2, that's not very hard. 2 can go into 4 twice, and I know there's not going to be any left over because 2 times 2 is 4. 2 can go into 2 once, and I know there's none left over because 2 times 1 is 2. So that's 21. So now I'm going to square 21, which means I'm going to have to do 21 times 21. So I'm going to come over here, 21 times 21. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Put a 0 down so it all lines up with my 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 1, 2 plus 2 is 4. Nothing in 4 is 4. 441. So it's pi times 441. So what happened is I knew the diameter, so I had to cut that in half by dividing it by 2, because I had to find the radius, because the formula calls for radius squared. 42 divided by 2 was 21, but then it's radius squared. So I had to square 21, and I end up with 441. Now, since I was dealing with 42, which is a multiple of 7, and I divided that by 2 and got 21, which I know is a multiple of 7, I can know for sure that 441 will be a multiple of 7. So here's an example where it's going to be better to use for pi the 22 over 7 times 441 over 1. Now essentially I know I can cross-check. The 7's going to become a 1. I just have to figure out how many times 7 can go into 441. So I come over here, once again doing some scratch work. 7 cannot go into 4, but it can go into 44 6 times. 6 times 7 is 42. 44 minus 42 is 2. Drop the 1. 7 can go into 21 3 times, and I know there's none left over because 7 times 3 is 21. So that's 63. That leaves me now with just 22 times 63 is what I have to do. So I come over here, 22 times 63. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. Put the 0 down. 6 times 2 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. Nothing in 3 is 3. Nothing in 1 is 1. 1,386 is what we get there. All right, so we find that our area is 1,386 square feet. All right, let's go on to the second part of our video and our lesson here for today. And that's finding the area of the semicircle. So now we have half circles. Once again, Mr. Swag's drawings, just imagine that they're perfect curves, perfect circles, semicircles, whatever. Find the area of the semicircle. Once again, pi is going to either be 3.14 or 22 over 7. Okay, so whichever one we would use. And so since it's a semicircle or a half circle, I'm just going to use the same formula, pi times radius squared, but then I'm going to have to divide by 2. I'm going to have to cut that in half. So here we have a semicircle here with a radius of 30. So I would have to do 30 times 30. Now I know with the zeros trick, I can just go ahead and drop 2 zeros and then do 3 times 3, which is 9. I get 900. So now I have to take that, which is the radius squared, times pi. Now, there's a couple different options that I could do. I could cut this in half, all right, and it really doesn't matter. I could take 900 and divide it by 2 and get 450, and then take that times pi. That would work. However, with these numbers with the 2 zeros, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take pi, which is 3.14, and I'm just going to multiply it by 9. 9 times 4 is 36. Put the 6 down, carry the 3. 9 times 1 is 9, plus the 3 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 is 28. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add the 2 zeros. All right, and 1, 2, 2,826 is what we end up getting, because there's 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in the problem, 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in the answer. Now, but I have to divide it by 2. So I'm going to come up here, 2,826, take 2 into 2,826. And as a 7th grader, I need to notice that these are all even numbers. 2 can go into 2 once, and there's going to be none left over because 2 times 1 is 2. 2 can go into 8 4 times, and there's going to be none left over because 2 times 4 is 8. 2 can go into 2 once, and there's going to be none left over because 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 can go into 6 3 times, and there's going to be none left over because 2 times 3 is 6. I end up with 1,413 centimeters squared for that semicircle. All right, well, here's another one here. 6 feet, okay? Once again, the diameter is 6 feet, so I need to find the radius, which means I'm going to do 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I have to do pi times 3, which is going to be, the diameter is 3. I have to do radius squared. When I square 3, I end up with 9. So I have to do pi times 9, which means I'm going to do 3 and 1400ths times 9. 9 times 4 is 36. Put the 6 down, carry the 3. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 is 28. These numbers look a little familiar from the first semicircle we did. There are 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in the problem, so I need 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in the answer. 28.26. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide that by 2. Now, if we were just supposed to go and do that long ways, okay, 2 can go into 2 once. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring down the 8. 2 can go into 8 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. Bring down the 2. 2 can go into 2 1 time. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring down the 6. 2 can go into 6 3 times. I know there's none left over because 2 times 3 is 6. I end up with 14.13 feet squared. 14 and 1300ths square feet. All right. We'll talk to you later, 7th grade. Bye.